No time up there. I'm like, oh, hit the live button.
Hey guys, what's going on? Hey, I'm glad everybody made it today. I'm sorry that Keith's a little slow at talking anymore, but hey, we're here.
Hey, I talk like I drive, nice and slow and steady.
Well, you ain't talking about that. Now he's talking about his driving, guys. If you ever followed him, you'll be way back there. I got to Florida and it took him a whole nother day to get there when I used to live in Michigan.
That's just wrong, man. Just throw me under the bus. I said hi to just about everybody in the chat already, but we got Doug Shipley joined us also. Thank you for joining us. Hi again to everybody I typed to. Tonight, we're going to talk about the graders. We're going to talk about PCGS. We're going to talk about NGC. And we're going to talk about CAC. CAC's a little bit newer grader. So, our opinion.
Did we mention, I didn't hear ANACS or ICG.
We can talk about them too. There just wasn't enough room for them on the thumbnail.
That's
I didn't
wrong.
want to clutter the thumbnail up too much.
For any of you guys that like ANACS and ICG, I'm sorry for his not giving them all.
Oversight. Oversight is what
that's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
I want to thank all of you for your thumbs up already. We really appreciate your interaction.
I just gave mine.
We love the thumbs up. If you don't mind giving them when you think about it, go ahead. If you like the show, of course. Super chats are also welcome. One day I'll share them with them. You never know. Look at this smile like that. I watched your video.
Hopefully, guys, you got to check out my second video this week too, guys.
I did. I watched it. It was a good lot of nice pickups. So we got Big Rocky in the house. Hello, Big Rocky. Paul Bald's here also.
Rocky and I remember this one.
Oh yeah, we're going to be talking about graders. Let's wait till there's a few more people in before we show that.
Yeah. We're gonna use an example today, guys.
So basically,
and we're gonna let you guys grade this. What we're gonna show.
If you guys got a question, start it with 3 question marks so we can more easily see it. Because as I fall behind, I tend to skip right to the question marks. So yeah, that's a good thing to try to keep track of. And also, we're going to talk about graders. We're going to talk about some pros. We're going to talk about some cons of each of the graders. We have the top 3 graders on the thumbnail, and we're going to mention, you said ICG and ANACS as well.
Right. So, we might as well put them. I mean, ANACS is the longest running grading.
They are the longest running grader.
And so all of them out there in Colorado are great people.
So basically, people send coins to get them graded for different reasons. A lot of times they may send it for just the authenticity purpose, or they may even just send it just to, find out what the variety is. Talking about varieties, what are the two graders that tend to show you more of the varieties on a coin?
Number one would be ANACS.
So if you're looking for a variety on a coin and it's there, send it to ANACS to get it annotated. That is a good thing there. I guess you would say that's a pro for ANACS, right?
Yeah, well, ANACS is the best at it in my book. That's in my book. I want you guys to make your own opinion on that. NGC does a little bit more in PCGS, so I would have to put them at second. CAC being new in the game, they're at the back of the list. But they're trying to run.
They're coming up fast.
Yeah, they're trying. They don't have enough graders yet for that.
So again, we're going to point out the pros and the cons, and maybe you guys can decide for yourself who is the best grader for you to send your coins to. Oh, so see, Griller's he must be talking about Mike there. He's like, how is the coin world's greatest brain trust doing this evening? Wow, he's not talking about me. How are you doing, Mike?
I'm doing great, but I really thought Keith was that guy. But okay, if you guys think it's me, I'm still going to give it to Keith.
And I'm going to give it to him. So, what do they call that? Humility or... I don't know the word.
What? Now he's showing his real brain working.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys.
That's why I said he's the guy. He's the guy right there.
Anyway, guys, let's get back to what we're doing. what we want you guys to do tonight is
Just
I want
listen.
you guys to give your opinion, and Keith does too, as who do you like the best and why? If you guys want to answer that, that's great. In a text or email, even if you want to email one of us, it's fine. We'll read it online here. You don't have to put it directly out there, guys. But we need to know. And if we don't get it all done today, we'll roll it over till next week to finish it up.
Humbled. Yes. Thank you, Mrs. Coin Crew. I tried to be humbled. So we got 34 likes.
Now you know who the brain is in his family.
That's right there. Humbled. Humbling. And that's the word I was looking for. So we're going to give you our opinions. So let's start off with sometimes people say NGC is the best. Sometimes they say PCGS is the best. Let's talk about PCGS to start her off. They've been around since 1986.
But so is NGC.
But we're not talking about NGC, right?
Okay.
We're talking about PC. We're going to try to do this when we talk about the one greater than.
Who was in 1977 then?
That was somebody else we're going to talk about in a minute.
Okay. I'm trying to catch up with you.
We're going to start off with PCDS, the pros and the cons. For value wise, if you send in bulk dollars, PCDS has I would say that's a good pro for value. If they're bulk. But if they're not, it's not. They're one of the most expensive graders. What do you think about that?
I disagree.
I think they charge less than NGC.
Yeah, but look what their coins do in their holders.
And that is a con for PCDS. I'm not saying they're trying to con you. It's just a negative thing for them. A lot of times when you throw a silver eagle in a PCDS holder, it tends to milk. And that's not a good thing. We one time sent some 2015 Silver Eagles. And I can imagine these graders that are watching are going to be watching this and be like, they threw us under the bus. But we're not saying nothing that's not true. When I sent some 2015 Silver Eagles to PCGS in 2015, fine Eagles right out of a monster box, after a month, after they got back a month, they started spotting. There's something in, whether it's in the bulk holders or just in their holders in general.
I think it's in the holder in general because I see it on dollars too.
The Silver Eagles and some of the other coins tend to spot. That is a definite no-no. But they were one of the most trusted. It's kind of up in the air right now. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say you're right.
Coin Crew saying PCGS, color, and milky sometimes. Yeah. And C Griller says, for me, NGC and PCGS pretty much tie at the top. ANACS for annotations, your best bet. So let's skip over to NGC because it seems like a lot of people favor NGC. For me, the aesthetics of the NGC graded coins, they look better in the holder, in any of the grading holders in that type of, with the white or black background. Wow, I'm tongue-tied tonight. What do you think about that? The aesthetics of it.
They do look nicer, especially their gold coins. Oh my God, they're beautiful in them holders.
Okay, we're not up to 90 people yet. So we're going to show a coin when 90 people get in here that Mike has in his possession. So here's something from Dad's Junk. On graded coins, I see tons of detailed coins. Are all detailed coins killers, or are they sometimes details that collectors and dealers don't mind as much? Questionable color, scratch, etc. So that's a great question. When you look at a detailed coin, it says XF details, VF details, Mike. In your opinion, does it kill the coin, or does it matter what the details is from, whether it's scratch or clean?
Actually, it does not really always kill the coins. I mean, the bottom line is, just remember this, guys, and this is where we're going to do this sample coin with you here later. Graders are human too, okay? So not always. You see a detailed coin. I'm going to use this for an example. 2 years ago, I was at the fun show. I bought a key date coin from a guy because he was so aggravated about the grading company. And they graded it wrong. So he said, I want my money back. Give me $4,000. I'll tell you in a minute what coin it was. I just want to get my money back out of this coin. I don't want any more. I bought the coin.
Now, Brent just pointed out another pro for PCGS, stepping back to PCGS a second. PCGS, he thinks, has better images, especially with TrueView. I do think they have better images, but NGC images almost all coins, don't they?
They do.
So a lot of times you have to pay for that imagery unless it's a high-valued coin. You have to pay for that extra. For me, I wouldn't say ANACS or ICG, but the other three, it's a money grab.
But anyway, back to NGC.
Back to NGC.
NGC graded this coin. I threw the coin down after I bought it from the guy on the floor to crack the holder because I didn't have my regular tools with me. I popped the coin out. I took it back over to NGC, sent it back in. Different graders got a chance to look at that coin. They brought it back down to me in an XF45 holder.
And you bought it in what holder?
XF detail clean.
And what grading service was it?
NGC.
And you sent
But
it back?
then I regraded it through our company. They took a better look at it. And this happens sometimes, guys. It don't mean that I knew the coin was not graded right. I sent it back through. Now, I can guarantee you, because they have several graders there, not the same graders probably got to see that coin. A different set of eyes looked at it. And
now here's a question about PCGS. Why doesn't PCGS increase their economy total limit to 300 from, I think it's 150 right now, when gradeflation has increased the price guide of so many common coins? As I said a while ago, it's a money grab. They're going to try to get as much out of you as they can. They sit there. All the graders will tell you the value of the coin does not make the price that we're going to charge you to grade it, but yet they have it all separated in different price guides according to the value of the coin. Go figure that one out. I don't think I was born yesterday.
It don't matter what show I'm at. I can tell you this. You can walk from one side of the room, PCGS, and you're going to pay 2 to 3 times what you can getting it graded on site at NGC. You'll get it cheaper at NGC graded on site. They want volume over getting just a couple coins.
But the question is, Mike, how come they sit there and they tell us, all the people that send coins in, your coin, we are not charging you grading according to the value of the coin, but all their price structure is separated in that manner. How is
they do charge you according to the coin. Don't let them tell you that. They do.
But that's
if you look at their list, if it's a 300, if it's valued at 300, you pay a little more. If it's valued at 2,000, you pay a little more. So it is done in a tier, just like NGC, just like CAC, even ANACS. They all have a tier.
Crawdaddy, formerly known as Adam Crawford from the Nest, new channel name. Thank you, my friend, for the update. So NGC, they got a holder. It doesn't chip as easy as the PCGS, but it does chip. PCGS chips pretty easy when you drop it. What do you think about that? The chipping of the holders.
Well, and this is another thing, and I'm not picking on PCGS. I'm using this as a prime example of what happened to me. And I didn't find this out until I did the ANA. I didn't know what I was walking into. When I had a couple of years ago at the fun show, I had a coin that was damaged in a holder at PCGS. I took it over to them. I told them I'd like to get it put in a holder, and I know I got to pay about $15 to get it put in another holder. They told me I had to take it back, send it back in, and they would ship it to me, that they would not do it on site.
Well,
this year here, I had the same problem with an NGC holder. I took it over to them. They looked at it, said, Mike, we got to work it in because we're really here to grade the coins, but we will get it done before the weekend up. They didn't tell me they wouldn't do it. They didn't tell me they'd do it right away. they would work it in. And guess what? That evening that they did that, they had a slow moment, so they got it done and brought it over to me.
That's cool. That's cool.
But and I wasn't asked in PCGS to do it right away. I just told them I wanted it in a holder. I'd like to have it back before I leave because it was a damaged holder.
No, I did notice NGC is getting a little bit quicker now. PCGS is still lagging slightly. They're still behind a little bit for the past couple of years. But here's something from Marco Polo. Why does PCGS charge a 1% crossover fee and also the same grading fee for regular coin? It seems cheaper to crack it out and the coins out and send them in raw. Yes, it is cheaper that way, but they're not going to, when you pay the crossover fee, again, money grab, in my opinion, they're not going to crack it out unless it makes at least that grade, unless you tell them to. But if you don't care about the grade, yeah, it's cheaper to break it out. What do you think?
Well, here's the thing. And this is one thing I will say that NGC and PCGS will both tell you. CAC can tell you the same thing, cross grading. If they crack it out to cross grade it and their graders look at it and it fails, you might as well just crack it out yourself. You still could get it back in a lower grade holder.
You have to sit there and say, do not grade it if it won't make the
That's
grade
what you
on
got
the
to
holder.
say. If it's not going to grade what it is,
They'll still charge you for it because
they'll
they want
still
their
charge
money.
you, but at least you didn't lose your holder.
You won't lose your grade. Here's something, and we're still kind of on NGC a little bit. Dad's junk. Dad's junk. Who's the best for grading world coins? I think you're going to probably say the same thing I do. What do you think, bro? The best for grading the world coin.
You already know who I'm going to say. I'm just going to tell you it starts with an A.
For world coins, not error coins.
No,
I think NGC is better.
Again, I'm going to give it to ANACS. I'm going to tell you, they because there's a lot of world coins NGC and PCGS will not grade. And and I know this for a fact. If they're not for sure, they call Paul and them out there to see if they can find out what this coin really is.
All these graders do work with each other back and forth. They send images and stuff if there's something a little tougher. Just kind of a collaboration, kind of like two businesses, two coin shops working together to try to fulfill a want list for a customer. So that's important to know. But my opinion, I prefer NGC on the.
I do prefer NGC on ancients.
Okay, so there you go. We kind of look at both ways at that. Again, this is just our opinion. You guys are more than welcome to interject in and let us know what you think, or maybe a question we're not talking about.
But wait a minute. Didn't we leave something out? Didn't we leave? We left two of the companies out. We haven't.
We're not doing them yet. I'm fixing.
Oh, okay. We're bringing on. Speed it up. I'm falling asleep.
We left
here.
3 of the companies out. Okay, so when we get done, we're going to tell you the desirability as far as price for most people. The next company up is CAC. They're new.
Are they?
Have a lot to prove.
Are they really new?
They're new in the holder.
Yes.
They were grading other graders and just agreeing with them or not agreeing with them and saying they're the top 25% of this. It seems kind of, you had to look at a lot of coins to say it's the top 25%, but that's what they said to get a beanie. And then they started grading, but their holders, I don't think do you think they're worth any more than a PCGS or NGC holder if it's a CAC holder?
I talked about this, I think, a little bit on Silver Seeker and a few other places. Guys, I do not. If you want my honest opinion, do I think they need to start at the bottom where ICG is? No, I don't give them that.
No.
John Albany has been doing this business for many years. I got respect for the man in that respect. He's been doing this a long time. He helped get PCGS off the ground, NGC off the ground, guys.
And they,
and I agreed there should have been something done about the grading companies when they started slacking. And John stepped up and created the sticker.
Now we didn't say when NGC started. They also started in 1986. It's the same year. They were in the later part of the year.
Later part of the year, yeah.
But the same year as PCGS. And CAC, they started stickering, I believe it was around 2007, something like that.
I think it was 3.
It was early. It was in the
early in 2000. Yes, it
early
was.
part of the century.
But then just a few years ago, they started up CAC holdering. It's like, I think John wanted another grading company, and he decided,
guys want to make money. They just keep figuring out how to make money, I guess.
Don't get me wrong. The holder should not get the same respect as a sticker, because now we have a company that was grading the other companies. That's what that sticker meant.
A second opinion.
Second opinion. But who's grading them now?
Nobody. However, their little beanie is inside the holder.
So on that respect, I don't think it should get the same recognition as the beanie.
I don't.
And I do want you guys' input. Maybe I feel that way, but that don't mean everybody does.
Okay, we got Marco Polo here. Is NGC or PCGS conservation really worth the price and time and to wait? What do you think?
Guys, in the beginning, I used to say yes. In today's world, I wouldn't spend another dime on it, because the bottom line is, like they did one of my 93S's about a year or two ago. I let them conservate it. It would have straight graded, but it was ugly. And they called me up and said, hey, and this was NGC. Don't get me wrong. And I do a lot of business with them guys. I said, yeah, go ahead and concentrate if you think it'll help. He said, well, could maybe get a higher grade. Oh, no, it didn't get a higher grade. It got me a clean label.
Yeah, and I had a similar experience with PCGS. I had an 1885 V nickel, Liberty nickel. They conserved it. I'm like, oh,
I remember that
toning off of it. So they got the toning off of it, put it in a holder, charged me, I think, 1.5% of the value. It was uncirculated. Within 3 months, it started turning brown. So if you can live with what's on the coin, I wouldn't conserve them myself. So a lot of new people in here. We got Dandy Dave's here, Robert Pintoff, Scorpio. What's up, guys? So CAC, we've talked about them a little bit.
Can we get into ICG?
They are a little bit cheaper than PCGS and NGC. Who's the most expensive overall? PCGS is, right?
PCGS, I would say, yes.
Then NGC, then CAC. Now ICG and ANACS are a little cheaper. Now let's scroll over to ANACS, and they started what year?
ANACS started in 1977, I believe it was.
What I like about ANACS, they are less expensive, a lot cheaper, really. But what I like about ANACS is they annotate more varieties than NGC. They annotate more varieties than PCGS. So they have, I think, the best qualified graders as far as finding the varieties. So that's a plus. So if you get something and you just want it annotated for the variety, they will annotate things that the other graders will not. Is that not true?
That is true. Now, guys, I don't mean to interrupt you. We sure could use your thumbs up. I noticed we're a little, for what's in the crowd there, we're a little down. So if you guys can give us a thumbs up, we'd really appreciate that very much.
Oh, that's so nice of you to say. Yeah. Now, ANACS is, I think one of the pros is it's cheaper to grade with them. Another pro is they do a lot of variety and error annotations. But the con is most of the public kind of looks down on them and don't pay the same amount as they would for one of the other three graders that we have already mentioned, PCS, NGC, and CAC. Is that not true?
Well, to be fair, Annex has got old and new graders there, and I have noticed on certain things they are grading them a little higher than what they should. Okay, so to be fair, and I think that's why some of the real collectors are looking down on them. They want them to get straight back into the game. Um, I got once again, I got to say, Paul and them are a great group of guys. They come to our show. They do a really good job. I make sure that if anybody's got anything out of the ordinary that I know NGC or PCGS ain't really going to grade, we're going to send you right over there to them guys. Let's get it done. Now, if you just want to save money, they're really good at grading, but sometimes they slip a little bit, just like any grading company.
No.
That's the cheapest place to go. But there is one company cheaper out there, and I will let him mention that one.
And that would be ICG, another respectable grader as far as, let's say, eBay. eBay only I think they recognize CAC now, but eBay, when you was listed on eBay, you could not put a grade number on a coin if it wasn't ICG, ANACS, NGC, or PCGS years ago. You know, I'm not saying go sell on eBay or anything like that. Some people do, some people don't. But that lets you know that they were considered a reputable grader. A lot of people looks down on ICG, because they don't command the high premiums that the top three graders do. So that's a reason why a lot of people won't do it. But if you're looking for affordability just to get something in a holder, yeah. But remember, when you're buying and selling a coin,
now
you buy the coin, not the holder.
I gotta disagree with you, and this is one time I am going to put my opinion in.
Okay, let's hear it.
ICG sold their company to another company in Florida. That company is going around buying bags of dollars as cheap as they possibly can. And I'm going to tell you, if you get online, you look at them dollars, they got AU coins in 63 to 65 holders now.
Well, then
The
obviously
company has made that into their own marketplace. And for that, and I know the people, I am never going to send any coins to ICG.
so that's
They don't
something
really
good
want
to
to grade
know.
the coins anymore. They're grading their own coins.
Now, their ICG, they don't have the same type of holder as they used to have, right?
No, they changed their holder a little bit, yes.
So just be cautious with them, because the thing about it is, like I said, you buy the coin, not the holder. I want to get to one subject. We've got over 90 people. I want to get to one question here, and then I'm going to play catch up on the chat right after this question while you show a coin.
Okay, well,
the question is, why is it cleaning a coin when I do it? But if the grading companies cleans a coin, it's called conservation. Why?
called conservation, but they still call it clean. That's what I was talking about. They cleaned one of my coins, and still, instead of getting a straight grade like it would have got, they called it clean. So
here's the straight truth about conservation and cleaning. They're the same thing. The difference with conservation is they don't leave no after effects, no signs. If it was conserved properly, no signs that it was cleaned. It's just a little brighter, looks a little better. They don't put micro scratches on the coin. But when they conserve it and they do it improperly, as in Mike's case, they'll still call it a cleaned coin.
Right. Right.
So
but
it's just a way of getting money out of you.
Yeah. And
so when you
if I think about it next week, I'm going to bring up a couple of different coins next week. And one of them being an ICG coin in a high grade. And you tell me, just like I'm going to do with this coin coming up, I want you to grade the coin. You tell me if they got it right or not. We're going to tape up the grade on the ICG also. Here we go.
Okay, so we're going to show Mike's coin.
Yeah. Pull me up there. Give me a full screen.
All right. Now, you go ahead and keep talking and tell them what you got there.
Well, we're going to show it. Let me get it focused in.
There it is. Looks like he has an 1893S.
Yes. Now let's flip over and look at the back. And then I want you guys to give me a
Grade
grade
it.
on
Go ahead and grade that coin. And I'm going to do some quick questions in the chat. I'm going to bring myself back up. We're going to do some quick questions. Let's look at the front one more
what
time.
I want you guys to do is on yours, I want you to type in the grade you think it is.
And then we're going to reveal it. It's an 1893S key date coin. So let's.
Here, let me make sure they got a good picture of the front door. Let me get just the coin itself.
All righty.
There you go. Okay.
Okay, let's get a couple of these questions real quick. We'll try to
Let's
answer
go
a few real quick. Why doesn't CAC say why they disapprove a coin when they have paid a fee? I have no idea on that, but my guess is it doesn't match the top 25%. We got a $4.99 super chat.
Yeah, they're not transparent when it comes to that, and that's another thing that I find the companies should be transparent. But just to be fair, I got to call NGC or one of them when I have a problem because they can't just come up and tell me the reason why they did it.
Okay, listen to you guys talk, coins and metals. Appreciate y'all's hard work. Thank you. Okay, here's a quick question. Do ANACS vintage soapbox holders carry a premium? The old little soapbox ones.
They do.
And the ones that carry the best premiums are the ones that say official ANA on them and not ANACS. Those are even higher premium. We're going to try to catch up. So if somebody put a question in there, if you want me to really answer, just put it back in. I'm going to try to catch up down to the part. I see a couple of them I'm missing because I'm like 10 minutes behind. So I'm way behind. I do apologize. I will go back over the chat after the show, and if you guys leave a comment or something, we'll look at that too. What do you think of NGC's 10-point grading scale? Do you think it will survive? Yes, no, Mike.
No.
It's not enough points. There's a lot more in the 1 through 70, but there's not 70 points, but there's a lot more points to do it. So that makes a big difference here. Okay, so here we go. I'm looking
modern coins, though.
Okay, I'm looking. What's what goes? CC question mark. Ty McFadden says fine 15. Penny Scout says cleaned. VF 20 from Mud SWAT. Fine 12.15 Visterian. Scorpio says MS69. You know that ain't right. 12 from Doug Wagner. 20 from Dale M. 15 from Link. MS64.
You guys are very generous.
Dan says a 30. Coins Making Sense says a 20. AU Low from Gold Bacon Tree. Here you go, Scorpion, with another off the one. Dipple.
There you go.
Jerry Parker says good, 35.
They have a good 35? I don't know about
65, that. 25 from Blues. Silver Slicker, 12. VGA from Worm Slick. Yoke Fan says 20. Invisible River Ranch, cleaned 15. Miss Coin Crew says 12. I think we're almost done. 20. XF 40. 20. XF 40. 15. Man, we're just going. VG. Okay, so you haven't took the sticker off yet, have you?
Not yet.
Okay, we're going to take it off whenever we get done here. I think we're about done.
I'm going to take it off and then put it back up there.
Yeah, take it off while you're on air so they can see what's going on. Here, let's make it big. How
many more you got? I'm taking the sticker off now.
Well, no, take it off on the camera. Lift it up and just kind of peel it.
I got too many stickers underneath. I'll have to take all the other ones off, and then I'll do it with the one big one.
Okay.
Hang on.
I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of questions while you're waiting to show. LCS said 24 karat shot grain is cheaper per ounce than coins. So I bought over 1/10 ounce of grain. Should I have paid the premium to get the 10th ounce Maple Leaf Eagle? I think you should have. What do you think, bro?
Yep.
Yeah, the coins are always better. We got bin stacking with 30. Here, I got a couple more I want to do, Mike. 53, 12. Great. There we go. All right, we're down to the bottom. Creek Crest says VF. Let's see what it is.
Okay, guys. I'm going to reveal what it is. And then I'm going to
1893S.
tell you, I am going to tell you this. It was very wrong. And this is another one I bought just to crack to prove them wrong when I do this to them. This is what they called it, a VF detail clean. It's not been cleaned. I'm going to tell you, this guy brought the whole setup to me. They called his 89 Carson City clean. They called his 93 Carson City clean. They called the 93S. This was in a low grade set. Okay. This is a VF 25 all day long. I'm going to crack it. You guys will get to see the results after I get it back again. The same way this coin looks, but the other one was a little better condition, is the same way that other coin looked that I cracked. There is no abrasions on this coin anywhere. Okay.
Mrs. Coin Crew says, I don't see it as being clean. So you want to show that up here one more time?
Yeah,
nice
it has not been clean.
You guys can take
the grading company.
Pull it down just a little. Bring it down a little. Now you guys can take a screenshot of this coin on the front and also on the back when he flips it over. So you can sit there and compare it to what he's going to show you when it comes back. You want to flip it over?
Yeah. When you guys
that way you guys can see that it's actually the same coin when he gets it back. And we're going to see how they treat it.
I don't have another one of these guys because they're hard to get.
Alrighty. That looks good.
But the feathers and everything, they're just shy of making a VF30XF. Okay, this is a VF25. It is a nice coin. I did this to another guy when he got his coin back clean, and it was a key date. Here's the thing. This is what's happening with these grading companies on these key coins. When somebody has a free submission, and that's what he did, he's joined up with NGC and sent in a free submission. The free submission he wanted on was the higher dollar coins, okay? So what they do to him? They sent all the rest of it graded. Sent all
let's
back
not agree
clean.
with Mrs. Coin Crew, not clean.
It hasn't been clean. I
don't think it has either.
We're gonna send it through. I'm gonna send it to NGC. It's going back to the same grading company, cracked out, and we're gonna see what they do.
Now, one thing you'll notice what we did as we was introducing these companies, we introduced the most expensive overall, not because they have a bulk or whatever, because NGC has a bucket program where you can get it cheaper too.
One thing I didn't think about this, O'Keefe, I pray that nobody from NGC is watching this because that could affect me. I did kind of mention the grading companies that we're going to be doing this. So I hope they didn't tune in on this.
When I introduced each of the graders, and I went in order, PCDS, NGC, CAC, ICG, or ANACS, and then ICG. I went in order of the overall cost of what it is going to cost you. Which company is going to be the most expensive to send to overall, with PCDS being the most expensive and ICG being the least expensive. However, after hearing what Mike said about ICG, I'm not sending nothing to them. It's just my opinion.
And I'm going to tell you, they're $1 cheaper than ANACS, so get it in a real holder.
ANACS has been around since 1977.
I respect ANACS holders. I respect NGCs. I respect PCGSs. They all have a downfall. CAC, I respect what they're trying to do. I don't respect that they should get better money than the other guys if there's nobody grading them.
Yeah, they're just a CAC coin isn't worth any more than any other coin. A raw coin is worth just as much. It depends on the coin. If you know how to grade, you don't have to worry about all of that. But if you don't know how to grade, yeah, those particular graders that we pointed out. Now, there are a ton of other grading services out there. but they're not. I think the word I'm looking for is reputable. There's like TNC or TCC or something. You'll see them on eBay all the time. Those are not the reputable ones. And it seems like ICG has even fallen out of favor lately since they've sold. So it's important to remember you want to go with who you feel the most comfortable with. You want to go with who looks the best for your particular coin, because some of the coins will look better in other holders. But overall, I prefer myself, and I'm going to say this right here and right now, my preference, setting all the politics aside, setting aside all the negativity sometimes you get with sending coins off, I prefer NGC is my preference overall as a rounded, I guess you could say, opinion. Which one do you prefer overall, Mike?
Well, overall, gosh, I'm torn between CAC and NGC right now. I'm going to be honest.
I still feel they need to prove a little bit to me.
Well, their grading skills have been improving. You know, they're I think they're grading a little more fair today than what they was 2 years ago.
Well,
when they first started.
Here's what Brent's Cool Coins thinks about the graders. He says he feels grading companies are more harsh on key date coins to control the market and high price for others. I do believe that to be true. It's
I agree
population.
I agree with him.
They don't want a whole bunch of.
The guy used his freebies on the most expensive coins. Because when you join them and you buy the platinum level, they give you 5 free coins a grade. They never put a value on it. So therefore, he decided, because looking at the tiers they had, well, maybe I ought to send the most expensive coins in for the free grading and grade the whole set. And that's what he did. Everything graded straight except for the 5 coins he sent in to try to save some money.
Did he really save money?
Well, you know, he got them done for free for that platinum. I think that platinum's like $289 or $300. I don't know. I'm on the dealer program, but
PCS NGC seems to be the most trusted names in grading according to Zilla. I think they are the most trusted. CAC is coming up there close. They're going to give them a run for their money. They're still relatively new in the grading process.
Well, the auction records are showing it too, that PCGS and NGC is still leading the market.
Yeah, but they're losing a little ground. There's no doubt about that. But in this age, this technology, this AI world that we're growing into, AI is becoming more prominent in any and everything we do. So the question presented to us by Link is simple. Do you think there will ever be an AI computer grading system?
It could happen.
That's possible.
It is possible. Okay, guys, let me put a prime example. Last year, I was in Baltimore. Now, Whitman and CAC run that show there in Baltimore. CAC was over there twiddling their thumbs. PCGS, they were moving steady when these flowing hairs coming off, steady. NGC was backed up, lying back. People were waiting to get their coins graded.
Now,
remember,
I do.
Baltimore is put on by Whitman and CAC, okay? You think they would have the control, being that we're in their neck of the woods of the grading, for sure. But they didn't. They did not. ANACS was there. They was a little slow. CAC was a little slow. PCGS was steady. NGC couldn't get caught up. I mean, I'm sitting there. So what I did is I called Scott to the side and handed him my box. Hey, when you get time, will you get this through for me? I didn't want to stay in the line.
Now, getting back to the topic of AI grading coins, I'm going to give you my opinion real quick. It is very possible for a computer program or an AI grading system to happen. But something you have to remember, which goes back down to the true value of a coin, the appeal. I don't think an AI system will ever be able to put an appeal value on a coin. That's something, a personal preference. Yeah, they'll be able to tell the micro scratches and the wear and all that stuff. But even on the older coins, are they going to be perfect? Probably not, but it's possible.
You are 100% right, because they have a thing on the internet called CoinSnap. It's been so way off.
Well, yeah, the appeal is what makes the value of the coin, along with the quality of the coin. So you could have two MS-63. One sells for 70 and one sells for 110. Well, obviously that 110 MS-63 is going to be pretty darn flashy. Someone may think it's so undergraded, or it might be in the top couple of percent of MS-63s. It's really hard to say why without seeing the coin, but it's probably appeal, most likely. Marco Polo says, what did you do with CAC G detail graded coins? I have seen a lot of CAC G coins come back, details grade, cracked out, and sent to PCGS for straight grade. I've actually never seen a detailed coin in a CAC holder. Have you?
I have, yes.
I would recommend breaking them out, because CAC is still.
You know what I did with them? I cracked every last one of them. The first dealing I did with CAC, because I realized they undergraded them all, is I broke out 142 coins, cracked them all. People say, wait a minute, you spent that money. You know what? When I was going to lose so much money on them coins, is it better coins? Yes, I did. And I sent them back to the grading company that already had them in straight holders, and put them back in the holders to get my money back.
MM has a great question. Since ANACS has been around so long, since 1977, how come CAC is not accepting ANACS coins? You know, that's a great question. How come a crossover is a crossover? I don't see why they don't accept ANACS coins, any of them. What do you think? Why do they not accept ANACS coins, Mike? Why does CAC not accept?
I have no idea why.
Some type of business strategy, maybe trying to keep them on the lower tier, because I think as soon as people recognize that ANACS is a formidable grader, it's like silver. They're being pushed down. That's my opinion. We got one from Scorpio here. I heard many grading companies will give a lower grade to protect the coins with a lower population. Example would be having an MS-68 Morgan. Population control is a real thing. None of them admit it, but it is definitely a real thing. But you have to understand also, an MS-68 coin is pretty close to perfect. I think an MS-60 coin in any grade, even modern, is a good coin to have, unless it comes out of a set. I'm talking a penny that goes into circulation. Even this year's MS-68 is a great grade to have. But if it's one coming out of a mint set and they can tell the difference, that's not a great grade for an MS-68. So that's something you have to understand. I'm really cautious on the modern stuff. Is there a difference between the mint state coin look versus the ones that have been out in circulation? And some of them will say SP or burnished or set or something. So you got to really watch that. So we are scrolling, looking for questions. There is eye appeal, and AI can't do that. Robert agrees with what you and I both agree with. Cool. Ant says they need to have luster through the toning, or they will knock the grade. Getting back to grading, it is a personal opinion. You can have two graders with the same qualifications, and they're going to give the same coin different grades. It's just a personal opinion. I mean, there is some structure around it, but it's still, one person might think it's a VF25 and another might think it's a VF30. So there's still that point. It is, when you start getting into them high grade coins, it's definitely opinionated a lot. Any experience with Canadian graders, Mike? The spiky Mikey.
Huh?
I feel like I'm fixing to sneeze.
Any experience with? No, I have not. You okay?
Yeah, sorry about that. Oh, I sneezed, dude. Sorry about
No,
that.
I have not had any experience with Canadian graders.
Last first says, what's a decent price for an old Carson City Morgan? I recently bought a 2021 Morgan with the Carson City Privy. Will that appreciate decently over time? I don't think they're going to appreciate as much as people think they will because it's a Privy. I think they should have bought a building and made a whole new Carson City Mint. What do you think?
Yeah, I do too.
Do you think the new Carson City dollar will appreciate?
Do I think it'll appreciate?
Yeah, with the Privy.
No, I don't think
It's
so.
not going to do what the old one's done. Definitely
No,
not.
it's not going to do that, but I don't think it's going to appreciate any more than what it already is. I will give you this, guys. I'm gonna tell you this. If you guys are in the Baltimore area, this will be the last limited edition set. They're ending the limited edition set this year, and they're also eliminating the reverse proof silver dollars. This will be the last one released, and they're going to put it out at Baltimore.
Cool. MM says, any idea why 2025 reverse proof palladium coins sold out on the Mint's website in a few days after release, but the 2024 palladium is still for sale? I have no idea. Do you have any?
Besides, for a lot of people, like the design they did this year. The design was a little bit more desirable than last year's.
So they changed the design slightly?
Well, yeah.
Well, people do like the reverse proofs better too. Was last year a reverse proof? I don't remember.
No, it was not.
People are starting to get back into the Mint a little more. The Mint is expensive to buy coins. However, some of their coins are worth the price. I personally like the high relief gold coins, the Liberty ones.
Right.
So wow, we're almost done. The hour's almost up. Man, I think we've covered most things. We might have missed a few. If I missed your questions, folks, just put it back in there and I'll try to get it before we go because we still got about 8 minutes left. There's so many people here, dudes. I know y'all just come to see that guy right there because
no, actually, I thought they came to see you, but I'm just a guy.
I am just a guy. What can I say?
I just got line from you. You didn't hear it?
We got 100 people watching. Wow, that's a lot of people, dude. That's a lot of people. Trying to keep it's hard to keep going with the thing and then pressing all the buttons. I'm worried about pressing the wrong button or something. Ty says we came to see Angel. Well, she's not here. She's in the other room somewhere.
Well, guys, I can leave and Angel can come out now.
Roadkill 8018 says coins are making a comeback. I think they are. There you go.
That's all you get. I got a big old welt to my face from a freaking mosquito.
She got bit.
Look at that.
Yeah, Keith paid that mosquito to do that.
I did. I paid him.
Said there's good blood right there. Go ahead and get it.
Last verse says silver rounds that could appreciate over time. Engelhart, USS Constitution, etc. I think the trade units and the vintage bars from the 70s. What do you think?
Guys, I'm going to tell you, Engelhart after this year is going to be terrible.
What about the vintage Engelhart?
I believe I talked about this already. ANACS had a chance
to buy
the dies from Engelhart. They are making 2025 Engelhart rounds, but I noticed on their site they came up with a lot of old Engelhart pour bars and coins all of a sudden. It's kind of making me wonder. I'm not saying they are, Just
I
making me wonder.
think the vintage are going to hold their value a little bit. I think the trade units, the older trade units, vintage silver is definitely worth a little.
I don't think the old Engelharts are going to hold up.
You don't think they will?
Not if
There
they
you
do
go.
what they're doing and start putting a lot on the market.
That's two opposing opinions.
Hey,
Yeah, we kind of leave you in a pickle, don't we? So I said
well,
I
they're selling
prefer.
Engelhart rounds for on their site. You might be taking a second opinion.
Crafty Dragon says, why did they stop making trade dollars, or do they still make them? I don't think they still make trade dollars.
No, they don't.
There were just a few short years in the 1870s.
Let's trade that dollar.
There you go. I think grading is subject to opinion. I think appeal has a lot to do with it. So you definitely want to pick the grader that will make your coin look the best, because when you go to resell it, you definitely want it to look good. NGC tends to favor most coins. However, there are some coins that look better in other holders. What about CAC? What coins look good in a CAC holder, in your opinion? I mean, it really stand out over the other.
I noticed CAC, and they gave me a sample box at the show.
Uh-huh.
I almost ordered a case of them from them, and I'm glad I did not. Them boxes are so hard to open. And, you know, the average person, especially the elderly people, will have a lot of problem with them boxes opening. So, therefore, I think CAC's got to go back to the drawing board on their boxes. I will bring that next week and show you as I'm trying to open it.
I think the nickels look good in CAC holders.
And by the way, guys, I am walking again. I am out of the chair.
I asked you that earlier, and I don't think you answered.
I did.
You did. I didn't hear you. Must not be important, right?
I am walking, guys.
I think the dollars look best in PCGS, and I think gold looks better in NGC. I could be wrong.
No,
What do you think?
I like even the silver coins. I like the way they look in NGC.
Well, I mean, I think
I like the way they did them new rings. Them new rings it's all one solid piece. If you ever look at PCGS, they got that ring, and I really think that ring is their big problem.
Could
it's
be
two different types of plastic in there.
What are you guys seeing in the shop regarding people buying less gold at these prices? They're not buying much less. What do you think, Mike? Are people buying less, or are they just selling more?
Actually, no. I got a call today. I got a guy coming in and spend a few $100,000 with me on gold. So I don't think they slowed down.
I don't think the buyers slowed down. I think the sellers picked up is what's going on. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, these new numbers are making them start to think, are the analysts right? We are not analysts. We only go with opinions, and we put our opinions out.
And we form our opinions
on that number. The rumors are they're going to bust 4,000 this year. 2 months ago, I might have questioned that. The way it's been climbing in the last 2 months, there's probably a good possibility. We broke 3,700 today, which, bam, is another record again.
Gold is silver ratio is 86.87.
That's
gold
about
is trading
57 times, if my count's right, that it's broke a record in the last year.
Gold is sitting at this very moment at 3,692 ask on Kitco, and silver is down to a whopping $42.60. It's down 2 cents on the evening. So those are some impressive numbers, no doubt about that.
But it broke it this morning. It did. It broke it. It broke the 37 mark.
Okay, Lance first said, should I save for a 10,000 gold or silver right now? Tighter budget and holding for the long term. They're both good investments for the long term. I think silver may prove to be the more profitable investment.
Silver is going to have the best return. And look at it this way. If your budget is tight, you can afford silver a lot easier. And right now, you should be able to get silver probably around $2 or less over. If
Yeah.
that.
That's if you're going for generic and paying in cash. Mudslot says he hopes silver stays above 40. I think I was saying
Well,
that.
you remember last week we kept saying if it gets over that 40, it's probably going to stay, and it kept shaking back forth. Got right next to it, back down. Right next to it, back down, and then boom, it popped it.
I think what's happening, the way silver's moving right now, it stands a great chance of holding even above 50 once it crosses it. There's a couple bucks up, a little bit back, a little bit up, a little bit back. That makes a big, big difference. That nice slow climb. That means the profit takers are taking their money on the way up instead of it going up too fast, and then they take their money and they won't jump back in until it gets down to a certain level. And that's the problem with going too fast, I think. So anything else you want to add about the grading tonight, bro?
No, I just want to remind people about the upcoming shows one more time before we end this.
Let's do it. Here, let's make you big so you can talk about a show.
Guys, just remember, we got an upcoming show in Joplin, Missouri on December 6th. If anybody's in Joplin, Missouri area, please come by and visit us. It is free to get in. As weather permits, we might have Keith there. We hopefully will have Silver Seeker there. We're going to have a lot of good dealers there, and everything we're doing, I'm trying to help the VFW. So guys, if you can make it, we surely appreciate you. Next up, we got a show happening in February. I'll have them dates on the next week or two. I got them at my office. I forgot to bring them. Also in Joplin, Missouri. And I believe that's the second week of February. Third up, we got
What are you looking at, bro?
We got the June show coming up. If you guys haven't booked your hotels, we do have room blocks there. Get your hotels booked. Come on down. Let's visit the U.S. Mint. We're hoping we're going to have a lot more people there. So Sunshine Mint's talking about coming. So we'd love to have you guys there. Fourth up, 2026, October, we are going to have the first annual Arkansas State Show back in business after 10 years.
That's in Little Rock.
Honored by the U.S. Mint and the governor of Arkansas.
That's in Little Rock. And
Little Rock, Arkansas. If they don't play ball, it might wind up in Fort Smith, Arkansas, but don't tell Miss Ida.
There you go. Got some shows coming up. We got the Joplin shows, the Tulsa shows, the Arkansas shows. And I usually attend all of Mike's shows he hosts. So I do hope to see you guys there. So.
Oh, I did. Did I mention that we're also working for one more in 2026? And you might know where this one's at, Lansing, Michigan.
Yeah, that we'll be working on that at a later time together. So we'll have that working on us. One last question. When do you guys think numismatic prices will jump 50%, just like gold's performance?
Would we love that?
Wait a minute.
He's getting his crystal ball out, guys.
Oh, man. I can't find my crystal ball. I'm sorry.
Darn it.
I tried to predict.
We are going to be watching the same numbers with you since he can't find his crystal ball, so we don't know.
It will eventually increase 50%, but when, we don't know. So that's that. Every commodity has spikes up and spikes down. It's part of it, investing. So I definitely want to thank everybody for being here. It's been an exciting night. I think I've talked too much. My voice is starting to get a little hoarse. So
that's what happens when you get old. You can't stay young like me.
That's what it is. So, guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. We'll see you Friday, the 21st. Floyd Live. The 21st.
Well, you'll be back on this channel before then, won't you?
What?
Friday the 21st. Day's 16th.
Hold on. Maybe it's
you got your Fridays messed up, man.
What the hell?
Today's Tuesday the 16th.
Maybe it's the 26th. I think it's 26th.
That's next Friday.
Show. So it's next Friday. I'm off.
So we'll see you before then on this channel.
Yeah.
When he gets all his marbles back together.
Guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the super chat. We really appreciate your support. And until then, have a great week.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Have a great week, Keith.